Okay, so for day 4 of Eating Disorder Awareness Week, I'm going to talk about how society can lead to and cause eating disorders. I mean, there has been a rise in eating disorders lately, and so I'm going to talk about how society leads to eating disorders because I think it does have quite a big cause. And ignore all my books falling down there. Right, anyway. So I'm going to start with things directly associated with body image, weight loss and things. So especially with women, since forever really, there's always been this shape or this ideal size that a woman has to conform to. I know in the late 1800s, 1900s, it was to have a 17-inch waist, and 17 inches, let me get my model tape measure here, 17 inches would be a waist of give me a second. The waist would be that size, which, I mean, my legs, my thighs, last time I measured my thighs, which was ages ago, they were 18 inches. So this, my thigh was bigger than the waist they wanted. Yeah, so obviously it is silly because women have always had to conform into this ideal body shape type, and they've always all these numbers have always been seen to be like a normal part of a woman's life. It just seems to be what a woman does, starving themselves and trying to get as skinny as possible. That's what it was like in the 1900s, like early 1900s and late 1800s. So obviously ideal body shape has been changing constantly. I mean, there was the whole Marilyn Monroe thing. I mean, she wasn't small. Then there was the Twiggy thing, and it keeps on changing. And women have always felt like they need to conform into this shape, whatever it may be. And then today, obviously with the media around, it's a lot more, you find out more and you know about more and you get more influence from the media, especially as a young person living in today's society. Walking to school, I see like 5 Weight Watchers posters and a Slimming World poster or something just like that. Like, today's society is all about losing weight, and if you're on the healthiest diet in the world, you're going to have the best life, and the skinnier you are, the better you are. I don't think many weight loss products or people that advertise weight loss talk about staying within a healthy range. They just advertise weight loss and advertise it as it's just a good thing. There's just so much influence around nowadays. TV shows such as Super Size versus Super Skinny, I mean, that's sensible now. It used to be really triggering. Super Size versus Super Skinny, what else is there? There was that Fat versus Sugar show on the other day. Again, like, there's this conflicting views. Basically, there's this, like, always in this country, well, not always, but recently in this country, it's been fat that's the bad thing and you should totally avoid, which I think is quite dangerous saying that, because they don't always specify the types of fat that should be avoided. They say avoid saturated fat, but then don't eat too much of the rest of the fats. But then that's silly because you need fat in your diet. They don't really specify that, so that can already lead to cutting out of a whole food group and having like the healthiest diet ever is like a no fat diet or something. So yeah, and then with sugar, again, it's all sugar's bad. There is this very one-sided view unless you read something sensible or watch something sensible, when it's not that all sugar is bad, because there's more of them. There's refined sugars, and yes, they are bad, but you can't go completely cut out sugar because you need it to fuel your brain. And people seem to be really judgmental and going on about this obesity epidemic and everything. And actually, I've noticed the really judgmental people are the ones that have a weight problem themselves, which is silly. Like, my nan, she was like, oh, she's a big girl. And I'm like, she's smaller than you idiot. Oh my god. So everyone's just really judgmental. And the media is full of these celebrity diets and fad diets and everything. And just diets in general. There's the eat normally 5 days a week and fast 2 days a week diet. There's the maple syrup diet, the cabbage soup diet. There's loads of diets. And the government seem to try and get across healthy eating too much, I feel. Like, you know that Change for Life advert about the fizzy pop, the newer one that was out this year about the fizzy pop and like changing in the new year, when the kids were talking about the amount of sugar in their fizzy pop. Like, kids don't think about that. It's just fizzy pop. Come on. So it's just they're kind of trying to make everyone in society the healthiest they can be, but it can have a really detrimental effect on people vulnerable to eating disorders, especially with all the Photoshop around, when celebrities are already slimmer than the average person. Like the photoshops out fat rolls, which are normal. You know, it's normal to have a few fat rolls here and there. Like, I'm not saying excessive, but look, I'm not totally fatless, but then I'm not fat. There's a difference between being fat and having fat. You know, yes, I have fat on me, but that's healthy. You need fat to protect your organs. And kind of saying fat's a bad thing and going on about calories and drumming calories into people, it can cause eating disorders, and it is a really dangerous thing. Last year, for a practice question in English, we got asked to write about government, doctors, and the media have a right to tell us what to eat and what not to eat. Write a speech for or against. So this is really bad because I wrote it last year, but I'll read it out anyway. Do you know someone who has an eating disorder? Have you seen how hard and damaging it is? I am speaking today to argue against government, doctors, and the media telling us what to eat. We are surrounded by media, government, and doctor opinions on how to be healthy. Constantly, we are reminded of our 5 a day. The media has told us many food horror stories, how carbohydrate lead to excess fat, and fruit is good as it contains many negative calories. This can you cause control over what you are eating. A little is good. However, you would be surprised by how quickly an eating disorder such as anorexia nervosa or bulimia nervosa can develop. 57% of people currently in treatment with an eating disorder have said the media started it all off. Amy, a therapist at a treatment clinic, said there's just a lot about fad diets and the super skinny celebrities in the media. Some girls suffering with eating disorders may associate skinny with success. Obviously, an eating disorder such as anorexia nervosa is one extreme. However, the government's way of feeding us information and making it be taught in schools as young as the age of 5 is having many harmful effects on young children that shouldn't even be thinking about their weight. In a survey conducted at St. Peter's Catholic School, 1 in 5 year 5s felt they should lose some weight. There were even some that were on the borderline of developing an eating disorder. I do, however, understand the opposing argument. Although I feel healthy eating is just common sense, others may struggle. In this case, doctors should work with patients that have weight problems and work out an appropriate diet plan for them. It is also argued that healthy eating should be taught in schools, as if the parents don't get them into good habits, how will they ever be able to have a good diet once moved out? After all, it is said habits you learn as a child stay with you into adulthood. Some of what the media releases is seen as light entertainment. Shows such as Super Size vs Super Skinny and The Biggest Loser. These shows contain information about a balanced diet and how to lose weight, but most people don't take them seriously or develop eating disorders because of them, so why should they be banned? To conclude, I do not think the media and government should tell us what and what not to eat due to the damaging effect it can have on innocent individuals. Doctors, however, should, but only on a one-to-one basis if they think the patient has a weight problem. That's really bad, I'm sorry, but, like, my brother, for example, the other day, or last year somewhere, he was, like, going on about calories and his weight, and I was like, you are 7! Stop it! He's 7 and he was going on about, like, having to eat healthily, and he was 6 when he was going on about having to eat healthily, and, like, calories and his weight, and, you know, he's 7. He's 7! And he's already going on about calories and weight, and I know some of this might be my influence, but I also know some of it's the school's influence, because he started going on about it the day, like, he had a lesson at school about healthy eating, and he's 6. He was 6 then. 6. Some of the kids in that class would have been 5. I mean, sorry, but don't you just think that's, you know, something's wrong there, isn't it? Anyway, so I'm now going to move on about how pressure and other things in society can cause and lead to eating disorders, such as school. This is my latest report of crappiness. You can't read it, but basically that's my target grades there, and they're the grades the school thinks I'm going to get, and they're the grades I got in my mocks. So you probably can't see it, but so RE, I'm doing okay. I'm meant to be getting an A, and I got an A because I'm cool like that. In English, I got an A, and she thinks I'm going to be getting a B. Okay, yeah, some of you may say that's fine, but our school pressures us to get these grades, and they make us feel really bad if we don't get these grades, because there's people predicted lower grades that are, you know, and they're like, oh, well done, and then you're like, Hannah, you're not doing well enough because I'm predicted these stupidly high grades. Like, I mean, this is just the government predicting these grades, which are now turned into my target grades, and we're pressured to get these grades or exceed these grades. Like, and it can lead to eating disorder. Excess pressure can lead to eating disorders because it can mean you're searching for a way to cope. Like, to cope with all the pressure. And it's just awful, really. Yeah, so that's pretty much all for today. I'm sorry it's a really long video, and I will see you tomorrow when I talk about how family and friends can cause to and lead to eating disorders. Bye.